What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Now, I want to talk about a question that I was getting on the last Bitcoin video from, I think, 2 days ago, just kind of letting you guys know where I'm at from more of a macro perspective. Now, in that video, I was basically just telling you guys, look, although it does seem as if we are in a position in which we could see a little bit of a pullback or things may continue to consolidate throughout the rest of the summertime, I'm not really all too concerned with it. I'm still dollar cost averaging. I still see upside. I still do think that we can grow. And there is a seemingly decently sized narrative in the space right now where people think that this might be the top of the market, that this may not continue further. We might start to pull back soon. And I want to kind of just touch on that a little bit into why I just don't think that that is the case really quickly and really easily. So, of course, with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. And let's get into the video. Now, the first thing that I want to do is I want to start off with the daily charts on Bitcoin, just so I can put things in a perspective a little. Now, where we are with Bitcoin is rather predictable to some degree in terms of knowing when this little sideways, boring ass phase that we've been in for the last few months is going to end. Bitcoin is quite obviously in a descending wedge, of course, with descending highs and descending lows. Now, typically speaking, okay, kind of what we've seen historically, you don't usually see this at the top of macro moves, right? A descending structure is quite honestly one of the most reliable structures to break eventually to the upside. And so just from a purely structural perspective, I don't see a reason as to why this isn't just a summertime lull where things are boring, things aren't going fun. And of course, that's just normal. It's what we've seen year after year after year, and this doesn't seem any different to me. So from a structural perspective, again, it does feel as if this is just a normal consolidationary channel prior to eventually us getting the eventual move to the upside here. Now, from a weekly perspective, okay, let's go out to the weekly charts. One thing that I want you to pay a lot of attention to is the fact that, yes, we were overextended. And this does kind of validate the idea that this is just a cool down. Bitcoin got overextended and Bitcoin started to put in some bearish divergences here on the weekly charts. In those instances, that just means that you're too far gone. You're too overextended. You got to start to pull back. You got to start to cool down. You got to get rid of some of those standard deviations, pull back to your moving averages. And then you're in a position in which you are in more of a center of stability. And that's what I think is happening here. You look at this weekly chart, this does not look like the top of a market. Every single top of every market that we've seen has not looked like this. And so because of that, of course, from more of a weekly perspective, this feels more consolidationary to me. And I do think that we are going to break through the top side of it at some point, whether it sees us pull all the way back down to 49K again before we see the breakout, or whether we pull back to maybe 60K, or maybe we don't pull back at all. And boom, next thing you know, we have a breakout to the upside. It doesn't really matter to me. It still feels as if we are positioning and, kind of priming the price to make that move to the upper $78,000, $80,000 zones. Now, one of the main driving factors and what I really wanted to focus in today's video on is what's actually happening over on the liquidation heat map. What you're going to see here is that if we go all the way out to cover from February to now, it gives us an idea of where the current liquidations are. And currently, the mass amount of liquidations that we could see within kind of a $10,000, $15,000 range is at $72,500 still. Even while Bitcoin's price is sitting at $66,000, people don't think that its price can capture $70,000, $71,000, $72,000, and they're betting that it's going to fall. And because of that, what I've come to recognize is when most people think that something is going to happen, that it's going to go down, it typically goes up. And whenever people think it's going to go up, it typically goes down. Tops of cycles and tops of markets generally will look like tons of liquidations below you, because that's what kind of people are guessing. They're going long on leverage. They're anticipating growth, and boom, that's when this market reverses and it goes in the opposite direction. And so knowing that we still have liquidations above us, knowing that people are betting that this is going to go down, knowing that those shorts can get squeezed at any given point, it feels to me as if this is just a consolidation, and max pain for the, either crowd, right, the bulls or the bears, is actually the price going upwards. And what I've come to realize is this market will chase liquidations. Typically, that is due to manipulation, in my opinion, not to be a tinfoil hat guy or anything, but it does seem as if this market moves in the direction in which the most liquidations will happen in order for, of course, these bigger entities to capitalize on the market as much as possible. And so because of that, in my opinion, just to answer that question that some of you have been leaving, no, I don't think this is the top of market. And because of that, I am still willing, even if Bitcoin's price does pull back 5,000, 10,000, I am still willing to dollar cost in at these levels. Sure, I was buying around 16, 17K roughly. I missed some of those lower numbers, but about 17, 18K generally is where I started to really start to accumulate. I did most of my accumulation around the $30,000 to $40,000 range, so I'm not doing a ton anymore, but I am still buying and accumulating on these red days quite simply because I still think there's opportunity to the upside. People are betting it's not going to happen, and they're typically wrong. And so because of of that, knowing we have the fundamental news with what's happening with the ETFs and with the whales and the accumulation that's happening over there, and so many other things from more of maybe even a geopolitical perspective, it seems as if the catalysts are still in place for Bitcoin to continue upward. So no, I'm not selling. No, my bullets conviction has not wavered. It's not changed. And I do maybe even have more conviction that if we do start to see Bitcoin's price pull back again, that I will be doing even more buying. Now, guys, I do want to remind you, of course, if you do want to do some buying on Bitcoin yourself, you can actually go ahead and check out the Margex link down in the description below. What you can see right here is that if you do go ahead and create an account currently, there are up to $10,000 in welcome rewards, and being able to take advantage of something like that is absolutely phenomenal. And so I will leave the link down below for you. That's where I do all my trading, leverage trading, and there's a bunch of options there for you. So go ahead and check that out and let me know what you think. But overall, I just wanted to answer that quick question for you. I know you guys like these quick, straight to the point videos, so I can't wait to see you all in the next one, and I hope you all have a good day. Peace out, everybody.